What's going on, guys? Today I wanted to talk about a bit of a serious topic, and I'm not gonna immediately address the tragedy that happened in Florida. Also, before you guys even go in the comments and say I'm trying to capitalize on this, I'm not. This video is not monetized. I simply just wanted to start a discussion on this topic, and that is toxicity in the gaming community. Now, as someone who has previously made videos like on people, those like cliched sort of exposed videos or whatever, I did them on Verlicify, and it was kind of like the thing to do. That's not really why I made those videos, but I had things that I wanted to say for a while, and finally having a YouTube channel allowed me to sort of make my voice heard, and my voice was heard. A lot of people had things to say in reaction to my videos. The videos were seen by a ton of people, and ultimately I decided to remove them from my channel because I didn't really want to have my name attached to that. I didn't want to be a part of that anymore, and so ultimately I came to the decision of deleting those videos, just because I didn't want to contribute to things like that. Now, like initially I did, you know, I was doing it for the memes and kind of a joke, and not really in a mean-spirited way, but at the time I thought, you know, obviously it's so important that I say all of these things, but in reality it just wasn't. And so I sort of made them in the hype of everyone making these Verlicify exposed videos and all sorts of stuff, and it got me a lot of traction and a lot of subscribers, but it didn't really get my channel anywhere, because it's not like, and I say this all the time, it's not like I can do that forever, right? It's not like doing stuff like that and making that sort of content is sustainable long term, because it's simply just not. Eventually it gets old. Ironically enough, this is sort of like a Leafy is Here format of video, but people like Leafy is Here in these commentary channels, they don't really make an impact. I mean, they do for a little bit, but they don't make a long-term sustainable impact or influence. They just sort of play on, you know, various areas of hype, and then that's it. I mean, if you look at Leafy, I can't remember the last big video that came out from him. I don't know. I mean, I don't really follow him that closely. I'm sure the guy's doing fine, but stuff like that to me, it used to, like, not be cool, but that used to be okay with me. You know what I mean? Like, people making these exposed videos or drama videos or whatever. And it was a big thing for a while with the CSGO gambling thing, and you know, making Verlicify videos or, you know, exposed videos. All of those things, they're okay, I guess, but there's not really, unless you're only ever gonna do that, there's no real long-term sustainability in terms of creating a meaningful channel and making a meaningful impact by doing stuff like that. Unless you want to have the reputation, sort of like a Keemstar character, for doing that and capitalizing off of drama and stuff like that, there's not really a point other than to get views on some sort of controversial or hot topic. So with that being said, I want to talk about what happened in Florida. I didn't follow it too closely. I've seen some bits here and there on Twitter and on the internet, and it's really difficult to tackle issues like this because everyone's going to have their own opinion, and you know, obviously all opinions are valuable, but it's an opinion. It's not correct, it's not incorrect, and people shouldn't, just because they disagree with your viewpoint or they have sort of a controversial opinion, people are entitled to their opinions, but ultimately there comes a point where you have to look at the situation objectively and say, is my opinion in the context of what is going on, correct. And I know it's weird because I just said opinions can't be correct or incorrect, but like, I think it's sort of a cop-out to say that just because it's my opinion that it can't be scrutinized or criticized because, oh well, it's my opinion and so opinions are protected. If I have an opinion that's just objectively wrong, then it's a stupid opinion, right? And it's, you know, I'm a special little snowflake, it's still my opinion, but if it's objectively wrong, then it's objectively wrong. And that's sort of what I want to talk about. And not really playing devil's advocate, just sort of looking at what happened, and this isn't really a hot take, but just giving my 2 cents. Toxicity in the gaming community is basically what this boils down to. Now, don't get me wrong, that sounded weird. Like, I'm not saying that this event is caused by toxicity in the gaming community. The topic of conversation is toxicity or harmful behavior in the gaming community. And a lot of people online saying that this was caused, or this tragic event that happened was caused because of the gaming community. And you can put big, fat, glowing air quotes around gaming community because I don't really consider myself a part of the gaming community. I mean, I play video games fairly regularly. I used to do it full-time before I got a job, and I would stream and upload videos, obviously all connected to playing video games. And even when I stream now, it's a huge part of my life, and it's always been a huge part of my life. I remember when I first got my NES, I had like Little Mermaid and Double Dragon, Battletoads, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and a bunch of other stuff that I was super duper into. And it was really cool to be able to share that experience with my friends. And I think that's what people mean when they say gaming community in one way. But in another way, I think people use the term gaming community as anyone who plays video games. And my wife plays video games. She beat Defense Grid 2, and almost all of the levels are bronze or gold. I mean, silver or gold, sorry. And that's like, I couldn't even do that. I couldn't even get gold on these levels. She's played multiple video games for episodes of Wife Plays Wednesdays. We play Mario Kart all the time. We built a bunch of stuff in Minecraft. But I wouldn't consider my wife a part of the gaming community. Do you know what I mean? Just because she plays video games, she's not a member of the gaming community. There's also another way to look at it too, where you could call figureheads, you know, like part of the gaming community. Big influencers or publishers or whatever. And with all of that being said, it's kind of weird to say that toxicity or unhealthy or dangerous behavior within the gaming community is the cause for something like this. I think ultimately, just to sort of cut to the chase, I think when things like this happen, it's on a person level. It's on an individual basis. I don't think it has anything to do with the gaming community at large, whatever that may mean to you. I don't think it has anything to do with the game, the developer, the publisher, the tournament. I think it's on a personal level. Something is fundamentally wrong with a person who decides to do such a despicable thing. And I think the issue arises when mainstream media outlets grab a hold of the fact that such a tragic thing happened at a gaming tournament. I believe it was a Madden tournament. And they just push this idea that there's toxicity in the gaming community and it's not healthy for you, it's bad for you, people are lazy, and they just sit and play video games all day, and therefore it causes behavior that it leads to people shooting other people or injuring other people. Now, I do want to say that it's not completely untrue that there's toxicity or harmful behavior in the gaming community, because there is. I mean, there obviously is. There's bullying, there's sexism, there's an entire laundry list of things that are air quotes wrong with the gaming community, but that's everywhere, dude. It's not just in a subsection of people that happen to play video games and enjoy them regularly as a hobby. That's everywhere. Dude, I work at a gas station and I see people just being awful to other people for, you know, whatever reason. I mean, everyone has their own personal life and personal struggles, but it's not, I mean, I see it every day at work. You don't have to be a member of some sort of community to know that people are fundamentally flawed. People aren't perfect. People aren't inherently nice. I mean, it all is a balance, I believe, personally, of nature versus nurture, or those in tandem together, not versus, I guess. But for something so tragic to have happened, and people immediately jump to video games as the cause, I think is really crappy for people such as myself and all of my stream regulars and the people that I've known throughout my life that I've enjoyed spending time playing video games next to and creating these memories and these experiences, whether good or bad. I think it's just, there's something fundamentally wrong with jumping straight to the conclusion that this equals this in this context. There's people online that are awful over Xbox Live or whatever voice chat you may have access to, or, I mean, people are always going to meme and people are always going to troll and just be rude and awful, but I think the thing about the air quotes gaming community is that it brings people together in sort of a live interaction that you don't have over social media. Because you can clap back people on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, but when it comes to gaming, you're there live with them, engaging in this recreational activity. And so I think there's a different dynamic, but do I think that it leaves a bigger impact on a person's psyche enough to say that all of this negative behavior comes from playing video games? Absolutely not. I remember when I was a little kid, when I would watch Power Rangers, I'd get all turned up and go like punch my tire swing and do fake karate in the backyard. But it never made me want to harm someone. You know, it never made me think that I could do all of these things. And so ultimately, I think that there will be, without a doubt, people who try and capitalize on this tragedy. There will be people who think that they know whatever right answer there may be. There's going to be people who berate the gaming community for fostering such a toxic and unhealthy activity or whatever. But at the end of the day, regardless of whenever something like this happens, it's a person. It's a person, just like you're a person, just like I'm a person. And I think it's a disservice to people who have these thoughts or wish to engage in these harmful activities to use blanket terms like, oh, it's the toxicity in the gaming community that's doing this, because then these people's issues on a person-by-person basis are not going to be addressed and corrected or stopped or you know, anything like that. There's no way to, if you say people who like Pokemon are morons, okay, well, do you know them all? Are they all morons, or did you meet one moron who happened to like Pokemon, and so now you're saying that the cause of their behavior is because they like Pokemon? You know, it's an oversimplified sort of Lego example, but I think it applies especially to this situation where everything I've ever known from playing video games involves my friends. It's best experienced with other people there. It's best when you're sitting next to someone on the same console with, you know, your friends in the room, and you pull an all-nighter trying to beat a game, co-op or stuff like that. It's a great experience when you can just let everything else go and just spend some time with your friends doing something silly. But that doesn't mean that there aren't crappy people. And a lot of crappy people happen to play video games. And those people might make a living out of playing those video games or play them competitively or whatever, but that doesn't mean that the act of playing video games competitively or together with other people makes you a toxic or unhealthy or dangerous person. So anyway, before I continue on any longer, I just wanted to talk to you guys about it, and I want to let you know that if you guys ever need anything, if you're ever in a position where you feel like you're going to do harm to yourself or others, you can reach out to me. But this isn't some sort of patronizing thing. All of you, you know, regularly are in the Discord or in the comment section or DMing me on Twitter, and I do respond. And I do care about you guys, and I enjoy your company. One of the reasons I started my channel was because of the sense of community that I missed from when I was a kid. You know, over the summer, getting everyone's Xboxes together in the same house and playing Halo 2 together all day long. I love stuff like that, and I don't want an eventuality where that is frowned upon to the point where it's deemed dangerous or unhealthy to myself or others. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this discussion. Let me know what you think about this whole topic in the comments below. My sincere condolences to everyone who is affected by this tragedy, and I really would like to be a part of making this whole situation better in any way possible. My streams and my channel have always been family friendly, and I want to have a warm, inviting, and welcoming environment that's not toxic or that alienates other people, and I try that as best as possible, which is why I deleted a bunch of my videos that didn't align with that mentality. So anyways, that's it, guys. I'll see you guys around. Bye.